factors and multiples, they are related, but they are different numbers entirely. So when you say factors of 20, a number that can divide evenly by 20 without remainder. 2 is a factor of 20. 3 is not a factor of 20 because you cannot divide 20 by 3. 4 is a factor of 20 because you can say 20 divided by 4 and to give you 5. 5 is a factor of 20 because you can divide 20 by 5 and to give you 4. Then we have 10. 10 is a factor of 20 because you can say 20 divided by 10 it will give you 2. And then the last factor of 20 is 20. So you can say 20 divided by 20 and to give you 1. So let's say you are looking for factors of 18. You are looking for factors of 18. What are the factors of 18? We are looking for numbers that can divide into 18 without remainder. You can divide 18 by 2 and to give you 9. So when you say 18 divided by 2 to give you 9, you can divide 18 by 3. When you say 18 divided by 3, it will give you 6. The next factor of 18 is 6. Because you can say 18 divided by 6 and to give you 3. Then the next factor of 18 is 9. Because you can say 18 divided by 9 and to give you 2. And the last factor of 18 is 18. Because you can say 18 divided by 18 and to give you 1. Are you getting it now? So when you talk about factors, you are looking at numbers that can divide evenly into that number without remainder. Should I give you 2 more examples of factors before I give you other examples of multiples? All right, let's look at a number, let's say a number like 60. When you say 60, what are the factors of 60? Usually, when we are dealing with factors, you don't even need to include 1 because you can divide any number by 1. So, what are the factors of 60? You know you can divide 60 by 2 and to give you 30. So, 2 is a factor of 60. 3 is a factor of 60 because you can say 60 divided by 3 and to give you 20. 4 is a factor of 60 because when you say 60 divided by 4, it will give you 15. 5 is also a factor of 20 because when you say 60 divided by 5, it will give you 12. 6 is a factor of 20 because you can say 60 divided by 6 and to give you 10. 60 divided by 6 is 10. Other factors of 60, we look at something like 10. Because you can say 60 divided by 10 and to give you 6. So another factor of 60 is 12. Because you can say 60 divided by 12 and to give you 5. Another factor is 15. Another factor is 30. The last factor is 60. So any number you can divide evenly into that particular number becomes your factor. And let's look at the last example under factors. Let's say you want to look for factors of a number like, let's say 32. Then what are the numbers that can divide into 32 without remainder? You know you can divide 32 by 2 and to give you 16. Because 16 times 2 is 32. The next thing you can divide 32 by is 4. You can divide 32 by 4 and to give you 8. 8 times 4 is 32. And you can divide 32 by 16. Then you can divide 32 by 32. So looking at these examples, you can see that there is no factor here that is higher than the number. You cannot have a factor of 20 that is more than 20. You cannot have a factor of 18 that is more than 18. You cannot have a factor of 60 that is more than 60. You cannot have a factor of 32 that is more than 32. So factor starts from that number downward. So the highest factor of a number is that particular number. And every other whole number that can divide into that number without remainder is called factor. That is why when you are calculating highest common factors, you look at those highest number that can divide into 2 or 3 numbers, you are calculating the HCF. So I told you earlier that a multiple is gotten by multiplying that particular number by a whole number. Multiples are infinite. It doesn't end. It continues like that. You can multiply 2 by any number, by millions, by trillions. So it is infinite when you talk about multiples. But in factors, you can tell the particular factors of a particular number easily. they are countable. But when you talk about multiples, it's continuous like that because you can multiply any number by any whole number. So if we are looking at a number like 4, we are looking for for multiples of 4, then you know that the first multiple of 4 is 4, because you can say 4 times 1, which is 4. Another multiple of 4 is 8. Another one is 12. Another one is 16. Another one is 20. Another one is 24. Another one is 28, and so on till millions and trillions. That is multiples. If you understand these basics, it will help you in your journey of mathematics. Let's say you look at the multiples of 10. What are the multiples of 10? The first multiple of 10 is 10. Because 10 times 1 is 10. Another multiple is 20. You have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and so on. You look at the multiple of, let's say, 15. The first multiple of 15 is 15. Another one is 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and so on. So, I believe it's very clear at this point what multiples are and what factors are. So, if you understand multiples and factor, you will not have problems solving LCM and HCF in mathematics. The highest factor of a particular number is that particular number. The highest factor of a number is that particular number. For instance, the highest factor of 12 is 12. You cannot have a number higher than 12 as a factor of 12. But in multiples, the lowest multiple of a number is that number. So it starts from that number and goes upward. But when it comes to factor, it starts with that number and goes downward. Factor of 20. So the highest factor of 20 you can have is 20. That is the striking difference between factors and multiples in mathematics. So if you have any question or you need more clarity, you can drop it on the comment section. I'll be coming your way again with more mathematics lessons that will help you. Maybe you are in high school or you are struggling with mathematics in one way or the other. All you need is understanding. When you have good understanding of it, realize that mathematics is your friend. And if there is a particular topic you are struggling with, please drop it in the comment section. We'll look at it and we'll see how to get the video across on this channel. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video.